I never gave them permission to take away my baby.
I was sent to dance and piano lessons, and I went to a private school.
Society was obsessed with hiding everything.
I felt incarcerated.
The good definitely outweighs the bad.
There was nowhere to turn to. There was no help.
I'm 14 years old. I met a local boy briefly and became pregnant. Mommy said I had to go to a mother and baby home. I wasn't sure what lay ahead, but I was grateful because I had somewhere to go. I'm here because I did something wrong. I didn't know what sex was or how a baby came out, let alone where it was going to come from. I begged the nun to help with the pain, but she just walked away. She said, "You've had your fun, now this is your payment. You brought this on yourself." My baby was 10 pounds and I was sent straight back to work on the farm after having him. One day I came back from the farm and my baby had been taken away. I didn't give anyone permission to take my baby away. They made the decision for me. No one from my family ever visited me, and no one told me my baby would be taken away. When I asked the nun where was my baby gone, she said, "He's gone to America." I still get nightmares. It's a day that'll be with me for the rest of my life.
I was born in a care home in 1954. My adoptive parents were really strict. I felt like I was just there to do housework. And my adoptive mother, well, she threatened me regularly that if I didn't behave, I'd be sent back. Every Friday without fail, I'd be sent on the bus to do the shopping. And I'd struggle to bring it back home on my own. I'd have a list of jobs to do on a Saturday. The lads never had to do that. I was never allowed to talk to or play with the other kids on the street because I was adopted. I secretly tried to talk to them through the hedges without being caught. I lived constantly in fear. I had no friends and I felt like a prisoner. She wouldn't let me bring my husband back to the house or for me even to see him. She just wanted me to stay at home, work, look after her and my adoptive father. I later found out that my mother, my birth mother, was also born in a mother and baby home. And that my birth father was a priest who raped her.
I fell in love with a married man. I knew it was wrong. So did he. We both did. I came from a very religious family and I brought so much shame to them. I went into a mother and baby home where they were so controlling. They changed my name. They told me that the sins of the mother would be passed on to the child. And they worked us so hard. like slaves from morning until late at night, and fed us close to slop. We didn't need to worry about gaining baby weight anyway. I had simply brought too much shame on my family to be able to bring my baby home. I never saw a social worker. I signed consent. I felt I had no choice. The bond had been broken and there was no way back. At least, if he had died, I would know where he was. But I went to London and my parents said, just don't come back. And that was the last we ever spoke of it. My only sin was to get pregnant and not be married.
I was adopted into a family who couldn't have children. My adoptive parents had already adopted another boy and a girl, so I grew up with a brother and sister. It was a happy upbringing. And my parents told me from a very young age that I was adopted and also what that meant. Although I knew I was adopted, I never raised the issue for fear of upsetting, well, especially my mother. She might think she hadn't done a very good job in raising me and that I was unhappy. The only turmoil in my life was seeing my father's struggles with alcohol. But that's something that isn't unique to families with adopted children. I felt loved. And we had a lot of support from everybody in the family. When I eventually grew up and found the courage to look for my birth mother, she told me that she'd refused to sign my adoption papers and that she hadn't wanted me to be adopted at all. She believed that someone had forged her signature on my adoption papers.
The children were given tea, bread and butter, cocoa for their supper. They were very undersized, but we did our best. They had swings and seesaws, and we played ring-a-ring-a-rosy with them. I loved that. There was just so many of them. And the poor things, they thought everyone they saw was Mammy and Daddy. It was better that they were adopted out. The women would have had nothing if they kept them. No home, nothing. They'd have been shunned. That's just the way it was back then. The women used to sing, play cards. We'd put a Christmas play on for them every year. I remember one girl, she was extremely lonely and took it very bad that she was sent to the home. Stayed in bed for months. She died of a broken heart when her family didn't show up for her.
I'm 17 years old. I became pregnant by my father. I was sent to a home. I was examined by a nurse when I first arrived. We were brought to the local hospital on the bus once a month to be examined. I had no idea what was going on. I was in such pain that I thought I had eaten too much. went to the nurse. She told me to wait because someone else was giving birth at the time. She eventually looked at me and said I was okay, but warned me not to get sick. She said if I did get sick, I'd have to clean it up myself. When my waters broke, I was so frightened. I didn't even know what labour was. The nun told me not to push. I eventually had my daughter. They said, "You're not fit to be a mother." As soon as I opened my mouth, they shut it for me. I felt like I didn't have a say. They said, "If you lay down with dogs, you'll get fleas."
I was born in a mother and baby home in 1963. And this couple, this wonderful couple who became my parents, adopted me. I think they were in their late 30s at the time. And I was their only child.
Let's go play house. Let's go play house.
I had a most wonderful life growing up with them. Everything. They did everything they possibly could for me. I had wonderful holidays abroad with them. They sent me to dance classes, singing classes. You name it, I did it. I had great friends. Went to a fantastic school. I just had a great lot of people around me, people looking out for me and who looked after me. It was just, I couldn't have asked for more. It was just wonderful. I'll always have such wonderful memories. I just feel so blessed that they chose me. I was very blessed and very, very lucky.